On September 21st, 1973, Japan and Vietnam established diplomatic relations. Through the joint efforts of leaders and people of the two countries, the cooperation and friendship between Vietnam and Japan is developing rapidly and strongly in various fields, especially since the two countries established an extensive strategic partnership for peace and prosperity in Asia in 2014. Japan has been one of Vietnam's leading strategic partners. There have been frequent high-level visits. The two countries cooperate closely and give each other practical support, especially during the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Japan is the largest ODA supplier to Vietnam, the second partner in the field of labor, the third in investment and tourism, the fourth in trade, making an important contribution to the socio-economic development process, industrialization, and modernization of Vietnam. 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. This solid foundation creates a new avenue for the relationship to flourish in the future.
Welcome to Station Vietnam on VTC10, and I'm your host, Thu Giang. In 2023, Vietnam and Japan will celebrate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations. In today's talk show, we'll see the new expectations for this bilateral relations between Vietnam and Japan through an interview with Chief Representative of JICA Vietnam. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Sugano Juiti.
Thank you, Ms. Zhang. And hello, VTC audience.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sugano, for joining an interview with VTC10. As we know that this is not your first time working in Vietnam, so how do you feel about this return?
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. I have been appointed as a Chief Representative of JICA Vietnam office since March 1st, 2023. This is the second time I have been sent for work in Vietnam. Before that, more than 20 years ago, I was first sent to Vietnam to work for a 3-year term from 1999 to 2002. At that time, I was in charge of technical cooperation projects related to various fields: education, transport, urban development. In particular, I was in charge of surveying the Tầng Bridge project in Hanoi and the Vietnam-Japan Institute of Human Resource Development VJCC project under the Foreign Trade University. I am very happy because this time I have the opportunity to return to work in Vietnam and witness these projects completed.
Vietnam and Japan have been through the journey of 50 years of cooperation and development. Could you share your thoughts about this relationship?
Following 2022, marking 30 years of official development assistance ODA activities of the Japanese government to Vietnam, 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Major events such as the celebration will take place in September, or the newly released opera Princess Anio, etc., are evidences of Japan's cooperation in the development of Vietnam, as well as a stable relationship between the two countries. I feel extremely fortunate to have been appointed as the Chief Representative in this meaningful year.
So could you give us some brief summary of cooperation between Vietnam and JICA?
JICA has been cooperating with Vietnam for many years as the agency responsible for implementing official development assistance ODA activities of the Japanese government in Vietnam. JICA Vietnam office is proud to be one of the 5 largest offices among the overseas representative offices of JICA around the world. So far, the total amount of Japanese government's ODA to Vietnam has reached more than 3,000 billion yen, equivalent to about 600 trillion VND, accounting for more than 30% of the total ODA aid that international donors have given for Vietnam, making Japan the largest donor to Vietnam among OECD member countries. Until now, besides transport, energy and urban infrastructure, JICA has also focused on cooperation in key areas such as healthcare, human resource training. Some typical achievements can be seen in specific figures such as building 3,300 kilometers of roads corresponding to 70% of the 2-lane national highway system with high technical standards throughout Vietnam. Building and expanding power plants with a total capacity of 4,500 megawatts, accounting for 10% of the country's total electricity output. Supporting the production of 100% of measles rubella vaccines for the expanded immunization program. Implementing training programs for more than 200,000 employees, etc. In addition, there are also iconic work for Vietnam-Japan cooperation, such as the T2 terminal at Nội Bài International Airport, the Nhật Bridge, Vietnam-Japan Friendship Bridge, or the urban railway line number 1 is currently under construction in Ho Chi Minh City. In addition to hard support such as infrastructure construction, Japan also uses ODA to support Vietnam in terms of soft support such as the establishment of Vietnam-Japan University in 2016, supporting the issuance of a civil code, etc.
The foundation for the development of Japan-Vietnam relations is the mutual understanding and empathy. That is also the reason why Japanese volunteers have been present in Vietnam since 1995 under the Japan Overseas Cooperation Volunteer Program. They have devoted their youth, knowledge, and empathy while working in hospitals and healthcare centers in Vietnam. Izuka Kazuhiro is one of them. Thu Hằng is a little girl who was in a traffic accident 5 years ago, which resulted in her being paralyzed for half of her body. However, after a period of treatment at the Central Hospital for nursing and rehabilitation under the dedicated guidance of technician Izuka, she was able to do housework, go to school by electric bicycle, and do activities like other ordinary people.
Bác sĩ đã xuyên suốt một quãng thời gian điều trị cho cháu, tức là từ lúc bàn tay của cháu chưa cử động và cho đến lúc mà tay của cháu đã cử động được cả 5 ngón. Ngoài thời gian tập luyện thì bác sĩ còn rất là tâm lý và bác sĩ còn trò chuyện. Bản thân tôi là người mẹ thì tôi rất là vui mừng khi mà thấy con mình phát triển dần dần từng ngày từng giờ.
Mr. Izuka's support is really meaningful, not only for Thu Hằng, but also for many other patients. And he also brings a lot of new knowledge to the doctors working at the Central Hospital for nursing and rehabilitation. Dr. Hiền feels like participating in a hands-on training course, helping her improve her expertise and better undertake daily care tasks.
Trong quá trình Izuka làm việc ở đây ấy, thì Izuka dạy cho tôi cái cách lượng giá bệnh nhân một cách chuẩn mực hơn. Đấy. Thứ hai nữa là hiểu sâu hơn về cái hoạt động trị liệu và cái quan trọng là đặc biệt là cái làm nẹp cho bệnh nhân ấy thì đã sáng tạo ra được rất là nhiều nẹp.
Similar to Mr. Izuka, Mr. Kawamura Hiroaki is also a volunteer working at Quảng Trị General Hospital.
Bệnh nhân thì rất là thích khi mà có một cái tình nguyện viên nữa Nhật Bản đến, ở một cái nền y học tiên tiến đến thì bệnh nhân cũng rất là tin tưởng và rất mong muốn được tình nguyện viên đó là thực hiện cho chính mình. Đấy, thì và qua đó thì các cái kỹ thuật viên của tại bệnh viện cũng học hỏi được và cũng triển khai cho bệnh nhân khác.
Thực sự tôi rất thích công việc này và những bệnh nhân ở đây. Khi gặp mặt họ, tôi cảm thấy rất là hạnh phúc. Mọi người đều tươi cười khi gặp tôi và làm cho tôi cảm thấy hào hứng khi đến làm việc. Trước và sau khi đến Việt Nam, tôi đều nhận được sự hỗ trợ từ phía cấp trên cho đến đồng nghiệp, mọi người trong và ngoài bệnh viện. Tôi rất biết ơn điều đó và muốn chia sẻ thật nhiều kinh nghiệm của mình trong công việc ở nơi đây.
Coming to Vietnam, these volunteers have accumulated more experiences and made new friends and met new colleges. 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Vietnam and Japan, and nearly 30 years since JICA dispatched Japanese volunteers to Vietnam. The past journey has marked their footprints in many provinces and cities across Vietnam, in many fields such as Japanese language teaching, healthcare, rehabilitation, community development, sports, agriculture, and tourism, supporting children and people with disabilities.
In addition to technical and economic projects, recently the people-to-people ties have also been strengthened over the past time through the volunteer program. So could you point out some achievements of this volunteer program?
About the volunteer program in Vietnam, since the first volunteers were sent to Vietnam under the Japan Overseas Cooperation Volunteer JOCV program in 1995, there have been more than 700 volunteers. Volunteers come to work in many provinces and cities across Vietnam, living, working and studying with local people, actively working in many fields such as education, medicine, local development, agriculture, forestry and fishery, etc., contributing to human resource training and national construction of Vietnam.
What are your recommendations for project implementations in Vietnam to become more convenient in the coming time?
One of the common problems that not only us but also other international donors are facing is that, besides the complexity and overlap in procedures under Vietnamese decrees and regulations, there are many cases where senior management approval is required for minor project adjustments. It is inevitable that some projects will be significantly behind schedule. Only when these problems are solved can the project be completed soon. The project's effectiveness can be quickly spread. So I hope the drastic response of the Vietnamese government will help speed up the procedures further.
And for the last question, what are JICA's upcoming plans to support Vietnam in the near future?
As the official implementing agency for official development assistance (ODA) of the Japanese government, JICA wishes to continue to promote the deepening relationship between the two countries, as well as contributing to the further economic development of Vietnam. In the coming time, JICA will focus on cooperation with Vietnam, especially in 4 areas: infrastructure, construction, human resource development, medical support, healthcare and response to climate change. Accordingly, we will continue to cooperate in a number of specific projects, such as aiming to put into operation the urban railway line number 1 under construction in Ho Chi Minh City, promoting the Vietnam-Japan University project, which was mentioned at the Prime Ministerial level talks, supporting the development of countermeasures to the aging of the population, such as establishing a distance learning system at local hospitals and improving nursing care techniques, supporting the development of renewable energy, etc.
Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Sugano, for your wonderful insights today, and we wish you all the best to your new journey, new working term in Vietnam.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。
That's the end of Station Vietnam today. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.